So I'm an artist, and I think I mentioned this before in one of my videos, but if you want to, I guess I can leave some links to my, art portfolio and my Instagram page. They don't share the same name as this channel, but you get the idea. And one thing that I would notice whenever I streamed my art was that people would ask me, like, how come your art doesn't get so, like, as many views as most other artists or other, I think, categories of content creation? And normally what I would tell them is that I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but content basically is killing art, or rather content creation, not just content. But yeah, content in my opinion is, I guess, taking away the creativity or the art in, I guess, how people interact, or yeah, maybe just interact with like social media and the internet in general. It's just, I think for an easier way of putting it would be to say the art side of things doesn't matter that much in the space of content creation. I don't know if maybe I'm explaining it correctly again, but yeah, I'm just gonna play you this video by Killing It Pod. And I saw this because like there's a comedian I follow, his name is Ryan Davis, and on this podcast, on this clip that I found, they actually discuss like the difference between content creation and art, and how one is not the other, or you know, things of that nature. So yeah, let's just but for them, just so we're clear, they're discussing, I guess, other forms of art, unlike the one that I usually do, which is more in the space of, you know, animation and things of that nature. They discuss, I guess, things that are, I guess, tied to their field in terms of like music or comedy or, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into it.
We used to get the music, you have to go and buy a CD, and now there's a world where all the content is like damn near free, or you're paying for all of it for a very low amount.
Yeah, you pay $10, you get all the albums. You'll never be able to appreciate music that way.
Yeah, I mean, like what Ryan Davis is saying here about like not being able to appreciate, like it used to be, I remember when I joined Instagram, which was around like 2015, 2016, like I used to draw portraits, and back then Instagram, I think, wasn't owned by Facebook or Meta yet. I could be wrong about this, but yeah, this is when Instagram was still picture focused. I mean, you could post videos there, but they weren't like the main focus of what the platform was. And back then, it's like, for me being an artist, like a visual artist, there was like an appreciation for the type of art that we would do, and it's again what would be pushed, and people would be like really invested in the type of art and the type of, I mean, not the type, but then like the artists making the art. And back then, like whenever someone would create like a piece of art, you'd sit there and you'd take it in and you would appreciate the art, you would enjoy it. Whereas now everything is so, I guess, like fast-paced and quick, and it's because of, I think, mainly this whole thing of these social media sites trying to be the next TikTok, to where it's like everything is so fast-paced and digestible, to where it's like people don't even like have time to appreciate anything anymore. It's just, hey, we go, like you post one thing and then it gets a few likes or maybe a comment here and there, and on to the next, like I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced this, but I'm sure that if you're doom scrolling, maybe say it on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, if you find a post that you like right now, after scrolling maybe 5 videos in, you already forgot about the one that you liked 5 posts ago. And that is just like the nature of the environment today. So yeah, let's keep listening.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Nobody sits with stuff anymore. Art is something you have to sit with. Think about y'all doing an hour worth of stand-up. Let's say you go blank slate. You're not using none of the material you currently got. I tell you, 6 months from now, you got to film an hour. How much work go into building that hour in a 6 month? Sure. And imagine if somebody watched it once and was like, I'd be like,
Yeah, okay. So again, like I said, it's again one of those things where it's like like making art takes time. And this is something that I feel like a lot of people outside of the industry or outside of the field rather don't understand. Like making art takes a lot of time. And I normally would see a lot of people, or especially like a lot of artists in my field, they'll talk about how they take time to make a certain piece of art. They take time on the rendering, they take time on the line art, they take time on everything just to make sure like they put this, like they put too much time into like this art that they want to make, I guess, a masterpiece. And then someone just sees it for like less than 10 seconds, tap like, and then they move on. And sometimes it's even worse because like it's not even the likes or the engagement that is, I guess, the problem, but mostly sometimes you can put in a lot of hours into an artwork, and this has like happened to me a lot of times. Sometimes you can put in a lot of time into a project, an art project, post it online, and not get like a lot of engagement, not get a lot of views, not get a lot of likes, heck, barely any comments. And that is again like the nature of the social media environment where everything is just so fast paced. You know, people just go on social media to kill time or whatever. Like nothing is appreciated anymore. And it's like when you are an artist and you're putting so much time into your artwork and you're trying to reach out and get an audience that actually cares about, like, it really does something to your psyche, because sometimes you think that maybe I'm the problem or my artwork sucks, which in most cases it tends not to be, because like recently I made a post on my art channel that I will not be making posting art on my YouTube channel a priority anymore because of the way YouTube has been, I guess, treating small creators, which again, that's a me issue. But I got a comment where someone was telling me that the problem isn't that my artwork is bad, like from what they tell me. Like I normally would get a lot of people telling me that I'm underrated or whatever. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, like this is just the things that they tell me. And they like, it's kind of surprising that for someone of my skill level to be at the very bottom of like social media where I'm not like getting as much attention. So yeah, it's one of those situations. But again, let's hear what they have to say.
No. You need to go. Yeah.
You missed a lot.
I'm doing a lot of in here that ain't no.
And they watch it doing this.
Content is not art, and art is not content. There's a lot of content creators. Artists are not content creators.
Yes.
It's something completely different about it. But I know people love art. That's why when you see Sinners and how everybody is having a whole conversation, man, did you see what they did with this? What do you think this means? Jordan Peele did it with Get Out.
Yep.
Art causes conversation. The thing is, once you become a content creator, you are now cheapening what art is.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing of like art not being, I mean, content not being art and art not being content. But then I think you can turn your art into content. The problem is, I think the algorithm is so, I guess, punishing, for lack of a better word, to artists. Because again, like I said a few seconds ago or minutes ago, it takes time to make art. And this is something that, again, like a lot of like normal people who just go on social media for doom scrolling, like, they don't understand. And again, I guess maybe that is not their fault. It's the way like these platforms are designed. But yeah, it takes time to make art. And because of the way the environment is on social media, I guess the algorithm sort of expects artists to put out content at the rate that normal content creators should, you know, because like, again, if you look at maybe other content creators or influencers, the things that they make on social media is not really something, like Ryan Davis said here, not really something that like can cause a conversation. It's not something that is like introspective. So when people are stuck in that loop where it's like all they consume is just content, even when they get art, they sort of treat it the same way, like, oh, it's just more content. But to us as artists, I guess it's not really the case. So yeah, it, like, again, I said, the algorithm is punishing towards artists. And again, this is something that maybe I'm speaking, you know, from first-hand experience. Like, for those of you who don't know, my YouTube art channel where I make 3D characters and all that, I think I started that channel at around like late 2017 or early 2018, somewhere there. And till this day, like, the channel is, I wouldn't say it's not doing well, but then like it's very small for someone who's been doing like posting on it for that long. I mean, like, it's what, almost 10 years now, if not 10 years. It's a long time. And for it to still be in in the, well, not the same position, but almost the same position, because like almost 3,000 subscribers. Again, it's punishing, and considering how, the whole short form content came about, it really changed the environment of how people take in art.
It leaves people, their attention span start getting shorter. The people who attention span getting shorter, they are cheating themselves out of an opportunity to experience something dope because they now are stuck on content. That's why I don't consume content like that. I'll listen to y'all podcasts, and the thing is, I don't even really like listening to podcasts. I want to watch because I want to see the interaction, the real human interaction with people. You can't always hear that. And I love community too. That's my thing. I take my people with me everywhere. It's so funny because I come off as a loner, but I'm so communal. That's why I'm always making lists and telling people about the craft. I'm telling people about the art. I'm telling people y'all should go see. And I think one of the things that gets me in trouble as a comic, it's looked at as a solo thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to the whole thing of like how art sometimes gets treated as content, and like you said, it sort of like cheapens the whole thing of making art. There's also like a matter, like very few people who have this mindset exist. Like when I would stream on my art channel, even though I had like a few thousand subscribers, the community of people who were actually invested in what I did was like really small. And even now, like I can post a video where I'm making a character, I'm showing people or teaching people how to make characters. The whole like community that will follow me or follow the process is like really small, which is again weird. I don't know if it's YouTube not showing my content or if, the algorithm, because people will say, oh, it's the algorithm or whatever. It's a very like small margin of people that exist that want to actually like be engaged or be involved in said process or community. So yeah, it really is, I guess, like you said, an attention span thing sometimes, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe you just get people who just follow and then like they forget that they follow, or sometimes it can be the algorithm, just being the algorithm. But yeah, it's insane how in today's world, I guess like the experience of art has been cheapened by the idea of content creation.
I gotta promote me solo, and whenever I do that, and then I shout out my peers, the people who don't get shout out go, "What is he doing? What? Am I nothing?" And I'm like, "No, you can do the same thing I'm doing."
Yeah. Right.
When I go, "Hey man, I'm dope. Here's some more dope people." You could have easily went, "Ryan is right. These people are dope, but here's some people I think are dope too."
Yeah, I mean, that's the end of the video, but I guess what he got into the end there is a bit of like a different topic. I mean, yeah, the whole thing of like shouting out people, again, for me, ever since I started posting my art online, only maybe like one person that I can think of, or maybe two people that I can think of that have like shouted me out. But that was because like I made some form of fan art for their projects or their work. But other than that, I don't think I have like a lot of people who have shouted me out. And I don't know, maybe it's a thing of like, oh, you're not big enough, so I like shouting you out isn't going to get me anything. Or maybe people just don't want to share the spotlight, which again, it's the spotlight, so it makes sense. I'm not gonna speak ill of them because that's something that they do. But yeah, I mean, again, it's the attention economy. The way art is being treated in this day and age, sometimes it makes me question whether or not being an artist in this day and age is still something that is viable, because a lot of people, like Ryan said in the beginning, a lot of people enjoy art, but then like no one wants to see art for what it's worth. The people out there, since I studied graphic design, the people out there who will come to me and they will want a logo, or they'll want me to design their whole brand identity, but they won't want to pay me, or they'll want to pay me in exposure, or if they want to pay me, they want to pay me like 10 times less than what my work is worth. So yeah, I mean, that's again, a different topic, but I guess maybe, yeah, I just wanted to vent out my frustrations being an artist and, talk about my experiences. But yeah, I guess this video basically encompasses the whole thing that I go through with being an artist and being on social media, because lately it's like if you want to be an artist, you do need social media in order to promote your work. But again, art isn't really appreciated as we would want it to be as artists. But yeah, I mean, if this is something that you resonate with, or you, I guess, relate to, or you have noticed, or maybe you have some experience in, I guess leave it in the comments. Like we can have a discussion about that, and do the whole YouTube thing, liking, comment, subscribe. Again, like I said, this is a new channel, so every interaction counts. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.